You know, every analysis and every villain's elements has one way or another came back to fear. But honestly, I think that's what makes a good villain. That and a really good personality and story behind them. If a villain isn't frightening, then I don't think they're going to end up being memorable. The reason I bring all this up is because the villain we're talking about today does a really good job balancing these three things. The villain in question being, and really stick with me here, William Afton of the FNAF series. Although this purple lad has become nothing more of a joke in recent years, I do think that William Afton does a good job of being a threat, having a good personality, and an interesting story to back him up. Before I start, I want to discuss rules. It can be confusing to do an analysis on any FNAF game due to the convoluted lore, so we'll just stick to be going game by game. Also, we won't be discussing FNAF 4 as there's really nothing to analyze. With that out of the way, let's begin. Interestingly enough, William Afton never appeared in the main game for FNAF 2. We're covering this now. However, there are secrets that show this Poiple dude, which are activated by dying a certain number of times. Out of the four minigames, three of them show William Afton, so let's just dive right in. The first minigame, as it's called, shows Foxy running in and out 3 times to please children. The first 2 times, it goes for how much you expect. When they see Foxy, they clap and cheer. Cheer. But when you do it a third time, William Afton appears in the down left corner. Why does he look like Yuri from DDLC and Shantae beat him up and stuffed him inside a Cookie Monster suit? Anyway, when you go to the room of the children, they're all dead. This may take some explaining. So in FNAF 1, there was speculation that the 5 animatronics shown had kids haunting them, hence why they attack you. And here, there are 5 kids killed. In other news, this is Scott Coffin confirming that theory. It also shows us the killer of the kids, the now named William Afton. Moving on to the second minigame, we see Freddy giving cakes to children, with a child locked inside the building. A burping sound can be heard, which can also be which spells out when slow down, save them. After enough time has passed, a car comes to the locked out child. As William Afton steps outside of the car and gives the child a slow, painful death, as Freddy slows down and eventually just stops moving. After William leaves, we got jump scared by the puppet. I think it's pretty easy to figure out the story that's being told here. The child that was killed came on to possess the puppet, who let William's other victims possess the animatronics. I love the sense of helplessness you get while playing this minigame. You really want to save this innocent child from this monster powering down. With every kid getting angry as you helplessly watch this monster kill this defenseless child. I really think that sense of horror is genius, and it's amplified just by the little details and overall atmosphere. Oh my god, my voice is getting kind of raspy. I'm just gonna skip this one. The third and final minigame shows Freddy following the puppet, with the burping sound effect still playing. There's a secret where if you follow the puppet enough times, our friendly neighborhood child murderer, the purple lad, will jump out of the shadows. You know that one sprite of him that looks like he's holding a banana that everyone and their grandma, including me, uses? Yeah, it comes from this minigame. Or at least it doesn't look like 2 teenage girls who have purple hair brandished him with a knife. Alright, that's enough. We'll just brandished him with a knife um, and hair and put him inside a cookie monster costume. Getting back on track, if Willie touches you, then it's game. That the minigame will end with the words "you can't" appearing in the top left corner. This is meant to be the other part of the save them sentence, spelling out "you can't save them." It really reflects both the puppets and William Afton's ideals of the murdered children, with the puppet wanting the murdered children's spirits to rest and be free, and William Afton wanting the murdered children to suffer as much as possible. With these 3 minigames, I think we can get a pretty good idea on William's personality. He's a ruthless child killer who'll make sure his secrets stay secrets. That's all we can get from FNAF 2. It's time we wait. What do you mean there's a night 6? Yes, it turns out between night 5 and 6, William Afton put on a golden animatronic suit, which made the other animatronics go haywire. Well, why? Well, in FNAF 1, it was stated that William Afton put on an animatronic suit when he killed the children. So when the animatronics see this furry walking around, they go into a fit of rage from seeing the murder that stuffed them inside their suits. But you might ask, what suit could William Afton use, considering Golden Freddy already has a child possessing it? Well, it's all answered in FNAF 3. Ooh, jump scare. FNAF Though this is arguably William Afton's most iconic and largest portrayal in the franchise. Every night, a minigame occurs where you play as one of the original animatronics following Shadow Freddy throughout the pizzeria. However, they all end up the same, with William Afton appearing out of nowhere and dismantling them one by one. After every animatronic is destroyed, we then play as one of the ghosts of the crying child. After we navigate our way through the pizzeria, we stumble across the back rooms, where for probably the first time in his life, William Afton's afraid. Somebody, who knows all the horrible atrocities he's committed, has come to stop him once and for all. William tries to escape from his mistakes, but is proven fruitless. With no other option left, William decides to put on the suit he used to murder his victims and hide himself from his errors, the Golden Bonnie suit. With the Golden Bonnie suit on, he laughs, thinking he can run away from his mistakes forever. But the spring locks in the suit crush his body, meaning that now the Golden Bonnie suit is his skin, and now he finally learns his actions have consequences. 30 years pass as this horror podcast crew have been and making Fazbear Sprites, a horror attraction based off of the tragedies at Freddy Fazbear's. The crew. The crew finds the broken spring Bonnie suit and takes him as an attraction, and renames him Springtrap. Before we continue, I want to say my thoughts on his design. Personally, I think it stinks. And by that I mean literally, I think it stinks. See, when I see Springtrap in FNAF 3 overall, I just imagine having this awful stench to it. I mean, just look at him. He looks like he needs a shower. Anywho, you as the security guard have to stop Springtrap from killing you by playing audio of a child. Huh. Do this 5 times and you have yourself a compelling gameplay loop and a weak headlamp. After that, after night 6, you burn Fazbear Frights to the ground with Springtrap in it. And assuming you got the good ending, allowing the spirits of the animatronics to rest. Man, what a good ending. I sure hope it's not ruined by another game in the future that completely messes up the story. But that will never happen, right? Right? Okay, gotta be honest, I hate Sister Location. Its gameplay is god-awful, it messes up a pretty good story, and its characters... Okay, I like the characters. Anywho, this game changes up our favorite purple lad quite drastically. For one, he's apparently British and a mad scientist. When I write these videos, I usually explain why I like these characters scene by scene, as I feel like it helps the video flow better. However, when something completely messes up a character, I feel inclined to say why I like the character as a whole. The reason I liked William Afton in FNAF 2 was how believable he was. Like, yeah, animatronics can't walk and talk, but having him be this guy who takes away the lives of the innocent for no reason made him so grounded in reality in my mind. So making him be this mad scientist who tortures his creations is just so baffling to me. Like, we didn't need this. We didn't need this for him to be this Dr. Eggman knockoff. Excuse me. We also have a logical explanation in the biggest air quotes possible as to why he destroyed the FNAF 1 crew in FNAF 3. Because yes, we needed that. Shut your pie hole. It's all because of Remnant, aka Goop, that makes the animatronics become alive and schmooth. Why does he need Remnant to become immortal or something? I don't really care about Remnant at all. Moving on from information that doesn't make me want to ram myself into a wall, we learned that Afton has kids. The 2 most prominent being Elizabeth Afton and Michael Afton. You know how FNAF 3, the dude you play as burns the location with purple lad in it? Yeah, it turns out the whole game and FNAF 1, it was William's son, Michael, to destroy the upbringing that his father brought out upon the world. Now, you may call it cliche, but I like it when the son has to rise and stop the father's evil tyranny. It honestly impacts FNAF 3 so much better, knowing that we're the son shamed that he's related to a monster who took away lives for his amusement. As for Elizabeth's story, it stated that Elizabeth was William's favorite child, as she would do anything her father asked her to. Everything except when it comes to going up to Circus Baby. Supposedly, the animatronic built for Elizabeth. William had warned her not to go to Circus Baby alone, but maybe just this one time Elizabeth could disobey her father. So she went up to Circus Baby, who offered her vanilla-flavored ice cream to the little Elizabeth. Just as she was about to grab it, BAM! Circus Baby's crew stuffed poor Elizabeth in her body. She would have died, but thanks to everybody's favorite thing, Remnant, yep, we're going back to this crowd again, Elizabeth was reborn as Circus Baby. It would be because of this incident that William Afton would kill the other children and stuff them in the animatronic suits. In my headcanon, at least, I love that this backstory, as it shows how tragic losing a child can do to one. It also shows how much William cared for Elizabeth, specifically warning her not to go see her. Eventually, Circus Baby would be able to see her dad again in Pizzeria soon, where his head will surely not look like a potato. And are you freaking kidding me? Ugh, will our purple lad ever be good again? So FNAF 6's interpretation of Springtrap, or as I like to call him, Crudtrap, has always had negative reception, and I think I know why. It's because he feels like a parody of Springtrap. Most of his dialogue boils down to British and evil, and his design looks as if Yuri from DDLC and Shantae sent him down the fly of despair from SpongeBob. I mean, he's grown feet, he has a muzzle, and for some reason he looks like a potato. It is one of the worst character designs ever, and the worst animatronic in all of FNAF. But just like Sister Location, there is an interesting piece of information that enhances the other games. We learned that William Afton co-created Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, along with Henry and Emily. Henry and Emily also had a daughter he deeply cared for, that being Charlotte Emily, the same child who possessed the puppet. The more you think about it, the more clear William and Henry's relationship becomes. Henry co-made the same monstrosity that killed his ray of sunshine too, so why not make Henry feel the exact pain he's going through? Why not exact revenge on the person who created that thing that ruined his life? William made Henry hurt more than he would ever will. That rhymed. After killing Charlotte, there was something that unlocked inside of William, and that's how he became the child murderer that we know today. We also see the child possessing Chica, that being Susie. Also, in the next game you see on, it's stated that Susie was the second victim after Charlotte. So, excuse me. So this is probably showing us how William grew to become less of a person and more of a person who puts children down for no reason. Finally, we have the ending to the game, where all of the tragedies of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is put to rest as the building is set aflame. All the Aftons are in the same place, being burnt alive. Michael watches his sister and father burn into the ground, with Crudtrap being helpless to do anything. For everyone in the burning location, they'll rest peacefully. But for Crudtrap, the darkest pit of hell is opened, waiting to swallow him whole. And with all Freddy Fazbear set to ash, the millions of crimes that Afton has committed is put to rest, as he is suffering a fate worse than death. Ultimate Custom Night. While Sister Location and Pizzeria Sim has a pretty so-so inclusion of William Afton, Ultimate Custom Night has arguably the best version of him since FNAF 3. After William Afton burned to death, he was sent to his own personal hell, where every one of his animatronics, himself included, are sent to kill him again and again and again and forever, all orchestrated by the one he shouldn't have killed, Golden Freddy. I know a lot of people say he deserved this fate, and frankly, I disagree. This isn't a critique of fact, rather more so putting myself in both characters' shoes. I mean, if my murderer suddenly died and I got to choose this fate, yeah, I would be less than merciful. Still, having to experience the same game over and over until the end of time. Yeah, fate worse than death is an understatement. So, everything about our favorite purple lad covered. What do I think about William Afton? His first two appearances are strong, and him at his best, back when he was just a normal child killer. His next two appearances are fine, having really strong moments, but ultimately failing due to being this super villain. While in my opinion he isn't the best video game villain, heck, I think there are things that the Ink Demon and Monica did better. Characters that I think are ultimately weaker than Afton. I still think he's a 3 out of 5 villain that had really good moments but tripped halfway through. Thank you for watching.